Right before I entered my 20s, at age 19, I was headed off to my dream school. And when I got to campus, I wanted to have something that would set me apart. So I thought that thing could be a blog. Writing is my first love in terms of my creativity. Thanks to my dad, primarily, and also my mom for fostering an environment of just being a reader, I am a very strong writer. So I said, I'm not a painter. I can't paint, I can't draw, but I am still creative and I can write. So let me start a blog. By the time I get to campus, when I introduce myself, instead of just saying, I'm Nala, you can follow me on Instagram, I would have that extra oomph to add on of, oh, I also have a blog if you want to check it out. And in my early 20s, I was in a place of identifying myself and knowing that I wanted to set myself apart. However, I wasn't able to upkeep that website at all. Long story short, life happened. And on top of that, in my early 20s, I did not understand the importance of having a personal brand like I do today. I knew I wanted one. I called myself Natural Nala. I dabbled in curating my image online, but it was something that I was incapable of being consistent with early on in my 20s. Fast forward now to today, I'm about a month and a half into my late 20s. I'm 27 years old, and thankful to God, I'm in a place mentally where I can do the rest of my 20s with intention. I will be living with intention in my late 20s. A large part of that intention that I want to carry until, as I approach 30 is going to be put towards building my personal brand and my online presence. I guess to kick off this series of me building my personal brand, I made a video sharing my 3-step process of how I would start to go about that. But just to reiterate here, step 1 was getting clear on my lighthouse / my brand message. Step 2 was starting my YouTube channel and being consistent with my YouTube channel. And step 3 is creating my personal website. And that is what today's video is about. Why am I making a personal website? Well, there is a few reasons as to why I'm doing this. This is not in any particular order, but I know for sure I want to look as professional as possible to potential clients that I may have in the future, to potential brands that I may work with in the future, as professional to my peers in my industry. A personal website for me is kind of like a resume. I am a content creator and an entrepreneur, and it's my space to showcase my profession. Also, I want a space where I can develop my ideas, aka blog. It's one thing to write out my ideas in my Notion, for example, but I think it's another when I have to craft a piece of content, long form written content, and publish it to the internet. And I want to practice that skill set, and my personal website will allow me to do that. All right, so how am I creating my personal website? Well, I've created it. I stayed up for all night. Like, I'm talking, like, I started working on the website in the middle of the day, and I had to take my natural breaks here and there. It wasn't straight through, but in the nighttime when my daughter's asleep, that's when I kind of can have long blocks of deep work. And from like 9 to 6:45 a.m., I worked on my personal website. Now, I didn't know I was going to go that hard with it, and nor did I think it would take me that long, but I'll get into the whole timeline of things. But I had this shake. I had this it's called a PB espresso, and that thing, the espresso that was in there, it allowed me to stay up and just bang this out and get this done. So for you, I don't know what your schedule is like, but if you're anything like me, if you're a busy person with a 9 to 5 or something that takes up majority of your time during the day, perhaps it will be best for you to carve out a night. Like, let's take it back to when you were in school and you had no choice but to pull an all-nighter to get this assignment done. It might be best for you to like choose a night and just get your personal website done. And I'm going to tell you how you could do that. So the first place you want to start with is choosing your platform. Choosing, which is also another way of saying like, what website builder are you going to use? There's plenty out there. A Squarespace is an example of a website builder. Wix is an example of a website builder. But I decided to go with something called Carrd. I chose Carrd for the reason of not every website builder is free. A lot of the good ones, the ones that allow you to connect a custom domain, they cost money, and they cost on a monthly basis, and that adds up to like over $100 a year. With Carrd, it's $19 a year, and that's it. It's the most attractive option in my eyes from a financial standpoint and from an aesthetic standpoint. So choose what platform/website builder that you want to use. Then you have to decide what domain host are you going to use. On the Carrd website, they had a list of different domain hosting platforms that I could go with and choose from. So I just chose from that list. Who hosts your website, that really is a trivial decision. It doesn't really matter that much. You just need to purchase a custom domain for yourself. So I ended up using Namecheap to purchase my custom domain of NalaWrite.com. So, okay, cool, you do that. Here's a little extra little part that you may want to consider doing. You get your custom domain, and one of the things, and we're going to talk about, okay, what is actually going to be on your website, but for sure you're going to have a contact section on your website. And I took a lot of time to kind of think about this part, because the communication aspect of your personal brand is a huge part of it. And I wanted to have like a custom email as well. I didn't want to have NalaWrite@gmail.com. I wanted to have whatever at NalaWrite.com. I decided to use Google Workspace for that. And the part that I took some time to think about was, what will that email be? Is it going to be hello@NalaWrite.com? Is it going to be hi@NalaWrite.com? Like that little part before @NalaWrite.com, I took maybe a little bit too long to think about, but I just want to put on your radar, put some type of effort into it. What type of vibe do you want to give off when you share your email with people that need to contact you in this professional kind of manner? It's pretty easy to set up the Google Workspace custom domain. It does cost. The basic plan, I believe, is around $6. So so far what we have is the $19 for the website builder. Carrd does give you a 7-day free trial, and they do have free templates on there as well. So you don't even have to pay the $19, but I think you need to pay it in order to attach your custom domain. We have the 19. To purchase my domain was about $7, and then now to do the custom email, that's about $7. So what's the math on that? Let me see here. That's $33. That's it for the technical stuff. Let's talk about the website copy, the content that is on the website. Let's answer the question, what will be on my personal website? For me, it was actually kind of hard to answer that for myself. Another little story, I have been putting off creating my personal website because one, I wanted it to be like custom made, work with a website designer, and everything's custom. Just like some super perfect version of a personal website with all these different pages and all this different information, right? So my goal with this personal website was to just create iteration 1, just create version 1. Over time, you can improve it. When you are ready to invest and work with a professional web designer, you can do that, but that doesn't mean from now until then you don't have no personal website. And starting my YouTube channel has really taught me how I gotta let go of perfectionism, and that's not only just for YouTube, that's with everything that I'm creating. Get something out there. Like, they make it so easy these days to have a professional looking website. I don't need to spend this money with a web designer right now. I am capable of doing it myself, DIY. However, when it came to what information I was going to put on there, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what should I put? But I ended up coming up with these. It's about 3 things. Let me turn off my heat. All right. It's about 3 things. First, you're going to want to identify yourself professionally. You want to state who you are, what you do. You can do that in a creative sort of manner, but that's going to be one of the initial things. Like, that should be like at the top of your website, letting people know who you are professionally. So essentially, that's like, you're going to have your bio, your about on your page. Then you're going to, if you're a content creator, but if you're a freelancer or whatever you do professionally, you want to have a section that showcases your social media. I think this goes for anybody who's building a personal brand. Have a section that highlights your YouTube channel. Make sure people can get to your social media accounts. I went the extra mile and I shared what my content is about, what my current goal is essentially with my channel. I shared how that's my focus right now is YouTube. But yeah, you want to put a section for your social media. Let's just say that. Then if you have a product or products that you want to sell, digital products, for example, you can have a section for that on your page as well. Here's what I did. So that's the next thing in me building my personal brand is creating a digital product. I have not created that yet. I have to put one step in front of the other. I can't do everything at once. So I just kind of said, there's a digital product coming soon, basically. There's something coming soon, and use that as to say, if you're interested, if you want to get notified when it drops, give me your email. So that's another thing you can put on there. Have like have some place for people to, I'm sorry, I'm getting caught up on my words, but like build your email list. Have a section to get people's emails. That's something else you want to put on your website, your personal website. And then you want to have your contact section. And this is where what, I shared earlier, that little extra step that I took to make sure I had a really professional email. And I'm not saying like if you do have the @gmail.com, that's not professional, but I think it's a level up to have your personal website at the end of your email handle. So now you can create your contact section and place that nice email in that section, and it just looks really good. So that is what I chose to put on my personal website, and I'm just sharing it as a way to like kind of get your mind thinking, okay, let's build out these sections. The thing that took me the most time was writing website copy. Copywriting was the first thing that I ever did freelancing in, and like I have experience with that, and it took me a long time, probably because this is about myself. Give me 1 second. So you might be wondering, okay, what about the pictures? Like, I don't have no professional looking pictures for my site. I had that idea in my mind too. That was also something that was holding me back from creating a personal website, because I thought I need to have a whole like photo shoot and do the most with it, And something just clicked for me. Like I went for a really good walk yesterday, and on that walk, it just clicked for me. Once again, Nala, this is iteration 1. This is version 1. You have enough photos in your iPhone that you can use and put them on the site. Like, who cares? When you have a professional photo shoot, or you take some more like pictures specifically for your website, doing it yourself, cool, you can update the photos. So I just encourage you, go into your photo album, choose some photos that you feel confident in, that look good, that represent you professionally, what you do. I've just made like a little album. Let me see. I just made a little album, called it Personal Website, and added some pictures in there of myself. And I use them on my site. And that's how, with that type of thinking, just keeping in mind each step that you go with this is version 1. This is version 1. I can make it better in the future. I could improve on it later on. You will not get in your own way and really be able to have yourself a personal website in 24 hours or less. When it comes to the whole copy thing, that's going to vary for everybody. How long is it going to take for you to write your bio, your different sections that we talked about? It's going to be different for everybody, but I would say, once again, that was the most time consuming part for me. Here's a little hack. Use ChatGPT. I be saying it wrong. ChatGPT. Yeah. Use that tool to help you think about the wording of things. That's how we can use these different AI tools when it comes to being creators, when it comes to being entrepreneurs, to support us. For example, you can write a rough draft of your bio and be like to ChatGPT, can you improve this for me? And it will. Then you can tweak it and make it sound exactly how you want. But don't be afraid to use ChatGPT for that. If you have the paid version of ChatGPT, which I think is like $20, perhaps there's still a wait list, I'm not sure, but they have this part of it called, I call it Dolly E. I don't know if that's what it's called, but that is where you can ask like visual questions and upload different photos. I used it to help me with the branding aspect of my website. I guess that's another thing. Doing this is going to force you to come up with some colors that may be difficult for you. You might already have colors, but if you don't, I can understand where it can be like, oh my God, choosing colors is so hard. It's okay though. Just choose a color palette that you feel reflects you. And again, you can change it later on, but let's just get a personal website up and you're going to feel so proud of yourself. Like, I hope before I get into how I'm feeling after doing it, with the whole branding thing, that you also want to consider your fonts and potentially a logo. I didn't bother with a logo for this iteration. I will try and work on one for my personal brand, but that's like, secondary. And then with the fonts, I'm like, I just use the font in the template that I chose because I could change that later on. My thing was to just like create this personal website. I don't have a lot of time and I wanted to see a finished product even if it wasn't perfect. I have I'm off a very limited amount of sleep right now, but I'm so happy. Like, let me pull up my site. I'm so happy that I have my website. It's so cool. Like, it's so cool. I created it. I did it. And I have something else to work on besides my YouTube channel to build and grow. That's a bit more tangible. Like, I know I'm doing that with my personal brand, but having a website gives like that tangibility, if that's even a word, to this whole idea of building your personal brand. So I don't want to keep y'all here too long. You definitely can build a personal website in 24 hours or less. Lock in, get it done. Having a personal website is a true asset. It's a piece of digital real estate. Get you one. Don't sleep. You can do it. And if you need any help, reach out to me. I can answer any questions you may have. I'll leave that website that I use to build mine in the description box and some other helpful stuff for you. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.